Alright guys, BLM here, back with another video. And in this video, I'll be talking about why you should watch The Genius. Now, if you don't know what The Genius is a South Korean reality game show that lasted 4 seasons running from 2013 to 2015. Now, obviously, if you don't like reality TV, you're probably not going to like the show. However, if you're a fan of shows like Survivor, like Big Brother, I do think you should give this show a shot. Now, obviously, this is a South Korean show, meaning the entire show is in Korean, but thankfully there's someone known as Bumdiddlyumptious who has subtitled every single season, but it does mean that you're going to have to read subtitles if you want to watch this show, if you're an English speaker like me, which could be a big stumbling block for many viewers. Season 1's pretty easy to find on YouTube, with the other 3 seasons being a bit harder to find right now, though I'm sure with enough research you should be able to find it. Each season of The Genius has 12 episodes, with every episode being over an hour long, which is another thing that could be a stumbling block. But now let's talk about the actual show itself. The show starts with 13 people, and like most shows of this nature, one person gets eliminated every episode. The way the game works is that there are 2 rounds every episode, the main match and the death match. The main match is a game that everyone competes in, where the winner or winners of the round get immunity. If multiple people are declared the winner, they all get immunity. If only one person is declared the winner, that person gets to grant immunity to someone else as long as they're not the loser of the game, meaning every single round there will be at least 2 people with immunity. Now, as I mentioned, the main match also has a loser. Now, this loser picks someone else who doesn't have immunity to take with them to the death match, which is essentially like being nominated for eviction. Now, if there are multiple losers, the winner or winners gets to pick who the sole loser is. And then after that, the game proceeds like normal, where the loser picks someone to take to the death match with them. Now, for deathmatch itself, the deathmatch is a game where the loser of the match gets eliminated from the game, and again, this happens every episode. Now for the games themselves, the main matches and the death matches change every single week, with main matches rarely repeating within a season, though death matches do sometimes reappear once or twice during a season. And now these are games that are usually pretty simple to begin with, but with every single player playing strategically, with each of them trying to exploit the rules and outthink each other, it makes it a lot more interesting and makes this a really difficult game to play. Now, explaining these games is a pretty difficult thing to do, and sometimes these games could be pretty hard to follow. However, thankfully the show uses charts and also has a narrator to explain what's going on to the viewer. Now, the way you play these games vary too, where some of these games really benefit from having an alliance, where people can work together to better their odds, but there are also some games that really benefit if you play by yourself. Something I should talk about in this show is the garnets. Garnets are a form of currency that is used within the game. Now, these can be used to barter between people for a deal or for some loyalty, or they can even be used to buy advantages during some of the games. However, at the end of the season, the total number of garnets that the winner has gets exchanged for 1,000,000 won, which is the equivalent of around $900, which makes up the total cash prize. Now let's talk about the cast, which for the first 2 seasons is filled with celebrities. This does change by the 3rd season, where some fans are finally added to the cast. However, the 4th and final season is an all-star season. And now, while most of the people that play are celebrities, they're not the type of celebrities that you would find in America. All these people are super intelligent, even the pop singers, the actors, the comedians. No matter what field these people come from, they're either book smart, they're street smart, they have some sort of intelligence that helps them in the game that allows them to play hard and makes the game super interesting. And while the cast is entirely filled by Koreans, they all come from different backgrounds and have a diverse set of personalities, so that after the first couple episodes, you should have a very good sense of who each of these people are and what they're capable of. Another thing that's great about this show is that none of these people take things personally. Players usually have fun banter between each other, and while a lot of people make jokes at other people's expense, it never gets icky like it does on Survivor or Big Brother. Now, part of that is because they don't have to live with each other. Unlike Big Brother and Survivor, where they live with each other 24/7, here on The Genius, they're only in the house once a week to play the game. Once the round is done, they leave, which I think definitely adds a lightheartedness to the game. Not to say that these people don't take this seriously, there are still arguments here and there, there are still people getting upset, but it never feels like it's in a malicious way. Now, the cast always play very dynamically, where every single week people are working with different people. There's very rarely a solid alliance that sticks together the entire way, and even if there is a solid alliance, they're usually not winning every single week. The casting overall is probably one of the best things about this show, with almost every single contestant being a mix of a great player and a great character. Another thing that's pretty interesting about this show is the fact that the season starts airing about halfway through the season. So you get to see players talk about the episodes, and it brings a new dynamic to a show like this, where contestants on shows like Big Brother and Survivor don't get to watch the show until after the season. A lot of that being due to the fact that this game isn't won by a jury vote. There is sort of an equivalent of a jury vote in the final round, but instead of that being the vote to win, there's essentially advantages given out to help the final two in the final round, which consists of 3 death matches in a row. Winner of 2 of them wins the game. Now, the final thing I really want to talk about here is the editing of the series, which is probably some of the best editing I've seen in a reality series in general. Now, some of this has to do with all the players being extremely chummy with each other, which editors take full advantage of, creating this very comical tone. And even when you're having some pretty intense strategic conversations, you still get some character moments out of it. Now, with music licensing laws being very iffy in Korea, the Genius is pretty much able to use whatever song it wants, leading to some masterful use of music to really exemplify the tone. However, the most interesting thing with the editing in the Genius is the fact that the editors aren't afraid to trick the viewer. Almost every episode is filled with some twist where during most episodes, you would think that one alliance has the upper hand, that one person's plan is going according to plan, and then the result of the match comes out, and the other alliance wins out of nowhere. Then the show flashes back and shows you how that happened. Now, it's a really fun way to edit these reality shows, and it's something I wish Big Brother and Survivor would do more often. The Genius overall, though, has some really mind-blowing moments, with some of my favorite moments in the history of reality TV happening during these seasons. Even watching the first episode, it ends with a bang, largely due to one of these flashbacks. Now, with the flashbacks, there's also some flash forwards. Now, these aren't nearly as fun, in my opinion, as it does kind of spoil things that will happen later in the episode. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of it, but it is there. Sadly, the 4th season looks like it's probably going to be the last. The original creator has already stated numerous times that he has no plans to continue the series, as he thinks it ended on a high note, and worries that the quality would start to diminish if they continue to make more. The thing is, though, is that if the Genius did have as many seasons as something like Big Brother, something like Survivor, I do think this would probably be my favorite reality show of all time. The show being just so much fun to watch and probably being the most consistent show over the first 4 seasons. Now, this is a series that you're going to have to watch in order, as every season spoils the previous ones. Again, thankfully, the first season is pretty easy to find. All you need to do is search The Genius on YouTube, and it should be the first thing to come up. Now, the only downside I see for this show is, again, the commitment, as you will be needing to read subtitles, meaning it needs your full attention. You're not going to be able to just put it in the background. You're going to need to watch it at all times. And due to its length, it could also be a time commitment as well. But if you're a fan of strategic reality TV shows, The Genius is a masterfully made show and something you should definitely give a shot. So there you go, that's pretty much every reason I can give for why you should watch The Genius, without giving spoilers at least. But yeah, thank you for watching.